today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Mattel Ghostbusters Jillian Holtzmann. Spot's attempt to find Ghostbuster figures has finally surfaced, and I was able to find these at my local Toys R Us. Funny enough, if you followed this channel and you followed Spot's exploits to try to find the new Ghostbuster figures, I was finding squat. Big squat. The Toys R Us that I went and bought the initial glow-in-the-dark ghosts, which were very disappointing. I just happened to go back to the other day, and I was going through the same section where they had the ghosts, and sure enough, they had one of each figure. That's it. Only 4 of the figures. So I grabbed it like a bandit. I pushed 4 or 5 kids out of the way. No, I really didn't. And I made my way to the checkout stand. So we're going to be having a look at these in the next series of videos. Some would say yay, some would say Spot, why would you buy these? But they are at least, if anything, the new Ghostbuster figures, which apparently now are clearancing, and I'm just happy I was able to find these. The front of the box is the same consistent box artwork that we're going to see with all 4 figures, with the Ghostbuster logo, classic logo at the top there, Ghostbusters down the side, Jillian Holtzmann down below, and we've also got Rowan the Destroyer as the Build-A-Figure, which at the time that I did the review of the glow-in-the-dark Rowan, I was pretty certain that the Rowan was also a Build-A-Figure. Now you know. Knowing is half the battle. Flip around the back of the package. It doesn't really have a read-up, though it does look like there should be a read-up, but instead it says collect all 4 figures to build the Rowan figure. And then on the side of the back package, all 4 turtles. It's because of the slime. All 4 Ghostbusters consist of Abby Yates, Aaron Gilbert, Jillian Holtzmann, and Patty Tolan. I just figured, of course, we're going to have a look at the torso, and then we can add all the components to it, which was the reasoning why we're having a look at Jillian first, and then we're going to have a look at the other 3 Ghostbusters after that. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the brand new Ghostbusters, Jillian Holtzmann. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. With Jillian, the first thing we'll have a look at is the Build-A-Figure piece that comes included with the figure. And in this case, it's the torso for Rowan. Maybe not necessarily Rowan the Destroyer at this point, although his face looks like he's still got that angry look to his face. He is missing both the 2 pairs of arms, the 2 pairs of legs, and of course the head. On the back there's like a little bit of a smudge, unfortunately. I don't know why that had to be there. But unfortunately, with it being also a white figure, it's going to be more prone to getting dirty. In the meantime, it's not really doing all that much. So let's put it to the side. Okay, so let's have a look at Jillian. Unfortunately, at the time that Spot's shooting this video, these are now becoming excessively clearanced peg warmers in stores. Which is a bit of a shame because really, the movie hasn't even come out yet. It hasn't even come out yet, and people are basically already dismissing the movie. Merchandise just isn't selling, which is kind of a shame. Far be it from me to make any or pass judgment on a movie I haven't seen yet. I know I've mentioned in the past movies that maybe don't look like they're going to be good, but I do wait and see the movie before I give my real thoughts of what I think of the movie. Whether you might like the movie or may think that it's just going to be a total bomb, I just wish that they would have supported the line a little bit better than what they were. I know maybe they're not selling, but I don't know why stores had to clearance them so quickly. And again, you could just chalk it up to the fact that sales just aren't there. People aren't interested. But that's a shame. That is a shame. At least, you know, see the movie and then you can pass judgment on it afterwards. The figure itself, of course, has an updated look to the jumpsuit, so to speak, or the onesie that the Ghostbusters have. The original Ghostbusters wore more kind of a brownish beige color. These are almost more closer to a beige color, with the more predominant features being this big, bold striping that's around the front chest area and on the sleeve areas of the outfit here. And then that little silver accent. It's more of a hazard kind of workers sort of thing. I'm pretty sure, like, even my hydro companies, when I've seen them, wear similar sort of outfits, or construction workers, of course, have that hazard yellow. Usually it's more like a cross, but they've got it striped across the front there. You may or may not be able to see it. Let's bring the camera in there. Her name is featured on the patch section or right above her pocket. You can't make it out because her collar is opened and kind of blocking a little bit of that. Of course, it would say Holtzmann, but unfortunately, all you kind of get really from it is man. The figure is not bad, actually. Surprisingly, whatever you might think of the movie, the figure isn't bad. In fact, it's got a little bit more extra oomph to it than I have to admit than the original Ghostbusters from Mattel. Those figures I found was really boring. There really wasn't a lot for it, and just solely based on the fact, before you jump all over me, before you put little comments down below saying, Spot, you don't know what you're talking about, understanding that the outfit has got a little bit more color to start off with, obviously the figures by default are going to have a little bit more color than the traditional Ghostbusters. But they just seem to have a little bit more personality, I have to admit, to the figures here rather than the original Mattel Ghostbusters. One of the other things as well, let me just move the Proton wand out of the way. They all have the Ghostbusters patch featured on the side there as well. It's right there. Very clean. Looks very pristine. Very crisp. You can make out the Ghostbusters logo quite well. As for her face, I guess there really wasn't a way around it. They could have probably not put lenses in her glasses so it didn't distort the eyes, but it's very similar to Egon. The Mattel Egon, his eyes were very distorted because of the thick plastic that they put on the eyeglasses. Her glasses are almost more like goggles. The head sculpt isn't bad for Mattel. It's not the likes of a NECA release, but for a Mattel release, it's not bad. The hair is pretty good. Proton Pack on the back there. Proton Pack on your back, and they split. Find out about Vigo, the Master Evil. Try to battle our boys. That's not legal. Spot's in the mood for watching Ghostbusters. At least Ghostbusters 2 right now. I don't know. I still really like Ghostbusters 2. But there's the Proton Pack on the back before they split. I wish I had a little bit of coloring, I have to admit, in it, so it wasn't just this very neutral brown. You could look, it looks like you could take the Proton Pack off, being that the shoulder straps are just a very thin rubber, but I just feel like getting it off is going to be difficult, getting it back on even more difficult, so I'm just going to leave it as is. The wand can be removed from the Proton Pack and can be fit inside her hand, just like that. And there is enough elbow clearance that you can get the Proton wand completely in her hand. Although to do that, you might have to just bend her fingers ever so slightly to get the Proton wand into her hand. I like the figure, I have to admit. I do like the figure. Whatever the movie's going to turn out to be, I like the designs, at least of the characters. The movie probably isn't going to be very good, but still, that being the case, I don't think the figure is all that bad, really. Let's bring the camera back a little bit. When it comes to Jillian's articulation, let's go ahead and just remove the wand here for a second. And by removing, I'm just going to kind of keep it to the side. Jillian's head is on a ball joint, and quite a considerable ball joint, as they put the ball joint at the base of the neck. So you got a good bit of movement going on there. Shoulders hinge out, full rotation on the arms, a bend at the elbow, full rotation on the lower, well, the forearm area. She also has a rotation in the wrist section. Waist swivel, forward and back motion on the legs, as well as the split on the leg there as well. She has a half, almost mid-thigh swivel cut right there. A bend at the knee. Nothing in the boot area, but then she's also got that hinge in the foot. She has a peg hole on the underside of her foot as well, but unfortunately she doesn't come with any sort of display stand to speak of. Speaking of not to speak of, other than really the piece of Rowan, I don't think any of the Ghostbusters come with any other accessories other than the Proton Packs on the back that they are wearing, which is a bit of a shame. Like I haven't really delved into it. I have picked them up. I haven't really delved too much into the other packaging, but I don't think the other figures have accessories really to speak of other than what you see right here, which is a bit of a shame. I wish they had a little bit more going for them, especially like even giving a Jillian here like a proton trap or something along those lines would have also added to these figures as well. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look finally. Took a little long. Spot late at the game. He's arrived at the party and everybody's basically kind of already closing up. But I'm still here. I'm still here to eat the guacamole, to enjoy what last few songs we have before everybody's kicked out of the house. Today, though, we were having a look at the Ghostbusters reboot action figures. And today, we're having a look at Jillian. And Holtzmann, maybe not as, doesn't stand out as well as Spangler. Spangler's really got a cool name. But, again, not bad figures. Just hated to death. I don't know why people just jumped all over this. At any rate, Spot's going to have a look at all 4 figures. So in the next couple of videos, you'll be having a look at the other Ghostbuster remake figures. Yay! Says some. Thanks for watching, as you always do, guys. I'll see you next time.